All right, good evening, everybody. If everybody can find their seats, so we can begin. First thing I'd like everybody to do is to rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we're going to have Elon singing the national anthem. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you.
All right, I'd like, I guess everybody could sit or you could stand, but I want to take a moment of silence to honor our fallen law enforcement, Officer Mora and Rivera, and also our firefighter, Timothy Klein. And it's also Holocaust Remembrance Day, too. So if we could just take a moment of silence to remember our heroes, first responders, and the Holocaust. All right, thank you. Is it possible to close the door, Tom? Thank you. All right, thank you all for being here at our inaugural South Brooklyn Republican Club. It's great to see so many faces, especially for the first meeting. I believe this club is gonna really grow into something substantial, especially with the backing of our great politicians that we have. Nina, Joe Bailey, Ted Dora. So let me just take a minute to introduce myself. I'm Jay Cohen, I'm the president. I'm a retired detective. Thank you. Now I'm a private investigator. I'm also in other organizations for law enforcement, Back the Blue. I'm the co-founder of Standing Up for NYC. We did a lot of Back the Blue rallies, 2020 during the riots. And we were trying to get rid of bail reform and just the craziness that was going on during that time with the riots and everything. And we're hoping that there's a red wave coming, and let's see if we can push along with that. I'd like to introduce our Vice President, Katie Belenkova.
Hello, hi. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Greatly appreciated. Endless thank yous. And I hope that we grow and spread our voices to 20 times this room and then some.
Hello, I'm Naomi Harris. I'm Naomi Harris, retired teacher. I really want to see the education department getting better. What's going right now, it's not so good. And I'm the treasurer of this club, and I hope to go and give. You don't hear me?
No, you gotta speak closer.
Okay, my name is Naomi Harris, and I'm the treasurer. And it's my pleasure to see you all here.
Okay, so just to go over some of the points, we're going to try to have this club meeting the first Wednesday of every month. We're going to have it here. Should be around the same time. So our next meeting should be June 1st. It's a Wednesday. And right now the membership is free, but as we progress further along, there will be a nominal membership fee. That's just for us to recoup some of the costs of the food, entertainment, you know, renting the hall, and things of that nature. So we're gonna really talk more about that at another time. We're also on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook, South Brooklyn Republicans. So you guys can like, follow us. We're gonna be having some posts going out, you know, for other agendas and stuff of that nature. And our mailing list out there also is on the sign-up sheet. So that's a good way for us to keep in contact with everybody with our email. If anybody has questions, you can follow us on social media. Our goal is to create a Republican base in this area of South Brooklyn. I know there are other clubs out there as well, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to get strength in numbers so we can have a good Republican base for candidates that are looking to go into office, like Ina Vernikoff. You know, she started from the grassroots campaign, and she hit the ground running, and I'm very proud of her. And we need more people like that. So some people are scared; they might not know who to go to go into politics. But coming to these meetings, you know, this is where we want to let people's voices be heard. So it's also to create networks and volunteers for candidates as well. Once we get good candidates running for office, city council, assembly, state senate, you know, those kind of positions, we want people to help volunteer, go door to door, knock on doors, really get in the community, to engage the community, to show how important, especially for the kids too, how important voting is, because your vote matters. So that's what we're trying to do here, and I think it's going to be a really good election come November. I'm hoping for a red wave. I think everybody is. I think everybody's sick and tired of what's going on. Crime, homelessness, these more progressive policies that are killing the city. We want to bring the city back. We want to bring it back to the heyday when Giuliani was mayor and it was a safer place. Businesses, no mandates. You know, kids could go to school and learn education, not learn, you know, critical race theory and you know, gender this, gender that. No, kids have to be kids. That's it. So, but we'll also discuss issues and legislation that comes up in the city council and the state level as they come around. But right now, yeah, social media, Facebook. I'd like to bring up. Ted Gora, Chairman of the Brooklyn Republican Club.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for having us. Thank you for coming out. So I won't touch on all the political points and the issues and all that stuff, because I'm going to save that for our elected officials in Joe and Ina, and let them touch on these things. But I will tell you, the Republican Party is not only alive, but it's doing very well. We are going to have, we're pushing, and we're going to actually get there, close to 140,000 active registered Republican voters in Brooklyn alone. I don't know if you know that, but that's actually, we're in the 130s right now, okay? This part of the world, southern Brooklyn, so figure from Bay Ridge to Dyker, Midwood, Bath Beach, Brighton Beach, Gerritsen, Marine Park, and everything in between, Bed-Stuy as well. We did incredibly well last year. For the first time in the history of New York City, as far as I know, as far as I can go back, we actually won the Asian vote. That's a big, big flip, okay? They actually came and voted and put some of our candidates over the top. Curtis Sliwa won 6 assembly districts, all in southern Brooklyn, by not small margins, 60 to 40, 63 to 37. These are not small margins, because people just can't take what they're seeing anymore, okay? So we can ask people come out, vote, do, but if you guys don't do that, and you don't get your neighbors out, and you don't ask your friends and your family and push the envelope really, really hard, then our candidates won't win. I'll give you another data point. We have 21 candidates in Brooklyn, Republican candidates in Brooklyn, that we not only nominate, but that we qualified on the ballot. It is an incredible number of candidates. There was a time, and some of you know this, I know Lucretia knows this, when the party didn't run candidates in a lot of districts, just because, and I won't get into why, okay? But when I came in, I said, as the chairman, I said, we have to start sourcing candidates and running good candidates, and I know Alec is in the back. Alec made a little bit of a splash, Alec McCrasney. He was in the New York Post because he actually was a prominent Democrat who actually switched parties, publicly so, because, as he likes to say, he didn't leave the party left him, and we all know that. There are lots and lots of conservative or moderate Democrats who are voting for Republican and conservative candidates these days. Ina is an example of that. If it was just Republican voters, she wouldn't have won. Okay, so we have to appeal to the crossover voters, and there's also a tremendous amount of what are known, it's a pejorative term, I don't like the term, but blanks. People who are registered to vote but they're not affiliated with any one party. Talk to your friends. If you need anything, Ina knows how to get me, Jay knows how to get me, Joe does, a lot of people in the back of the room, some of our district leaders are here. You can get us if you want to do a registration drive, you want to do an event at your kid's school, you want to have an education event, we're here to support you. We have a great organization, and we are going to keep fighting, and I am very, very confident, by the way, very good day, but I'm confident that we're going to have some more wins this year, and we're going to surround this fantastic city councilwoman with more Republicans all around her. I will tell you, and I say it because it's important to give people thanks. When they work really hard, like you do, you should be thanked. Because there's too many people in office that have been there for too long, and they don't really work for the vote. They just showed up every once in a couple of years. They don't really do anything. Ina's a hard worker. Joe's a very, very hard worker. And other people that have been in office. Nicole's a very hard worker. And we need really good candidates like that to keep going. And we have the Dems nervous. I'll leave you with this. Today was a very good day. If you haven't heard, the New York State Court of Appeals overturning the gerrymandering of the districts for congressional lines and state senate lines. It goes to a federal magistrate, special master. They're going to redraw the lines. It can't get worse than what I think. I don't think it can get worse than what they served up. So it was a very good day. I thank you again for coming out. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. If you need to get a hold of me, we also have our website. But we're gonna win, and we're gonna do it with everybody here supporting us and supporting the candidates and really coming out. And I think these clubs are great. It's the third club meeting I'm doing in Brooklyn just in the last 5 days. And it's a fantastic thing. And people really, 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 as Jay said, are sick and tired of the insanity. They really are. And I'm feeling hopeful for everything from the top of the ticket, the governor candidate, Lee Zeldin's our endorsed candidate, all the way down. So let's see what happens, but it's only going to happen with everybody being very, very active. Don't be afraid to speak your voice. Be civil, but really don't be afraid. Speak up. Speak your mind. We have all the issues and the facts on our side. We had 20 straight years of Giuliani and Bloomberg, which made the city a much better place. With Governor Pataki in Albany, we're going to get back there. We have to, otherwise, let's pack each other's bags and get out of here. Okay? We're going to make a change.
On the Ted Gora. We have a
Thank you.
party.
Thank you very much. And I thank you. Lucretia is one of our very, very hard-working district leaders. So is David. I won't butcher your name, but David S. is also one of our District leaders, Scott, this young man in the back, moved from Texas to Brooklyn. He's the president of the Brooklyn Young Republican Society. So we're definitely going in the right direction. So thank you again. If you, Jay, Ina, anybody here, Katie, we know each other. You need anything at all, we're here to support you guys. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ted. Appreciate it. And so now we're going to speak to, we're going to hear from the Minority Leader, the New York City Council member, Honorable Joe Borelli from Staten Island.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ina, and the board for inviting me here. It's great to be in South Brooklyn at the first meeting of the South Brooklyn Republican Club. I want to start by acknowledging, where are we? We're in a Knights of Columbus. Why do people join Knights of Columbuses? Why do they join? Because they want to be part of a movement that combines their faith, their beliefs, with fraternity, and the idea that we can move the country in a better place. That's what the Knights of Columbus is all about. I'm actually a member. I don't pay the dues. They're probably going to yell at me down the hall. But that's what Knights of Columbus is about. In the same way, you're all part of a fraternal organization now. You're all part of a Republican Party. Why do I say that? All around the country, and I've gotten to travel a bit in the last couple of years and speak to Republican clubs around the country, but all around the U.S., in Colorado, in Pennsylvania, in Arizona, in Florida, Republicans are meeting just like this. And they're getting involved, and they're preparing for what will definitely be, by all predictions, whether you're an MSNBC analyst or you're Sean Hannity, all predictions indicate that the Republican Party is going to have a good year.
Thank God.
Partially because we're doing a good job, a big part of it because the Democrats are doing such a bad one. But you're part of that movement. And Jay said, we hope for a big wave. Well, don't hope for a big wave. Be part of the big wave. Be part of the movement. And why is it important? So we're not right now in New York 11, the congressional seat. Although after today's redistricting decision, we might be. Tomorrow we might be. Who knows? But in this county, in this borough, one of the 10 most competitive races in the United States House of Representatives is happening. Think of it this way. If we're lucky, the Republicans flip maybe 15 seats. The whole future of our country rests on flipping 15 seats. And you're lucky enough to literally have one in your backyard. So when you're watching Fox News or Newsmax or reading the Post or reading social media, and you're getting pissed about what you're seeing, you have the luxury that a lot of people in Iowa or Minnesota or anywhere in between might not even have. You can actually go out in your neighborhood down the block and make a difference and make a change. And it's not just the House of Representatives. There's 4 seats we're competing for in the state assembly, literally in your neighborhood. We're here right now. The state assembly has a supermajority. I was there. Alec Verkrasny was there. It's a supermajority. We don't even have a voice because districts like this have blindly voted down the Democratic Party line for too long. But it ends now, and it ends because of people joining clubs, joining movements like this. That's only step 1. Step 2 is taking your newfound fraternal organization, your newfound friend circle in this trust tree we're all in, and taking some positive action. So what does that mean? Put a sign on your lawn. Let your neighbors know there are other people that aren't called Democrats who want to govern you and probably won't do a crap job like the people there now. That's it. Put a sign on your lawn. Put a poster in your window. Let people know that we exist. The election's going to start gaining momentum. We have a competitive race for governor. We have a candidate that has a shot of becoming the next governor. Get involved. Put a sign up for him. Lee Zeldin, his name is. Get involved. The Democrats are assuming, incorrectly, and I know they're assuming this because the Democratic's biggest hack pollster, Siena College, conducted a poll a couple of days ago, and the results were terrible for Democrats. And even despite being terrible for Democrats, they still overestimated the vote turnout for Kathy Hochul in New York City. because they think you're mindless rubes. The whole country looks at Brooklyn and says that's a woke part of New York City. That's where Democrats are. There's no Republicans there. That means you're actually on the front lines of change in New York State. It's easy to come here, have coffee, have a piece of cake, listen to someone rant, and then not do anything about it. But you, again, have the luxury of actually having competitive races where you can make a difference for the entire state and for the entire country. You go to Kansas, they're all Republicans. You're just yelling at the clouds. Here in Brooklyn, because of how bad of a job Democratic leaders have done, we're now on the front lines. And why are we on the front lines? Well, they're trying to tell you things that simply do not exist. They're trying to tell you that up is down is up, the sky is yellow. Things you can see with your own eyes. They're trying to tell you that your school in your neighborhood's bad because all the kids do good. We should close schools like that, right? That's literally a platform of the Democratic Party. Thankfully, this mayor put a little bit of a stop to it. But the last nut job, literally, as a policy, wanted to shut down gifted and talented programs that took children out of poverty and gave them a college education, a successful life, a path to their own economic freedom. They said that was bad. That was racist, sexist, isist, whatever it is. Everything's bad. They're trying to tell you that the good guys are the bad guys and the bad guys are the good guys. They're trying to tell you that the police are the problem. How long have you listened to that nonsense? Where they take one cop who does something wrong and use that to justify their position about 34,000 people. Whereas every day you see criminals committing the same crime. Every day you see the same people committing crime. It's called recidivism. The data proves it. But they don't want you to believe that. They want you to believe that you can't tell who the bad guys are. The mayor identified 30 precincts that are what he called high crime precincts. Go to any apartment building in any of those precincts and ask someone's grandma, who don't you want your grandson hanging out with? And she'll tell you, it's those guys on that corner, here's their names. They want you to think that grandmas in your neighborhood are dopes for just identifying what we all can see. And that's why it's been easier and easier to get people who might not have been Republicans all their life to actually start voting for us. Because we're trying to tell you that up is up and down is down. And the good guys are good guys and the bad guys are bad guys. And we have plans for dealing with those things. Maybe we're not always right. I'm never right. I mean, I'm wrong all the time. But we're going to try to make things better in a way that's not deliberately trying to make things worse. Only you can be that change. You're on the front line. Not me. I'm in Staten Island. Republicans will win it no matter what I do. I could, Trump could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue. I could probably, I don't even want to say what I could do, and I'll probably still win re-election. But here is where the rubber meets the road. If the Republican Party can compete in neighborhoods like this one, again, we're competing in 4 assembly districts in this neighborhood. If we can compete in this part of Brooklyn, then Republicans are going to have a banner year in this state, and we'll be talking about Governor Lee Zeldin, we'll be talking about Assemblyman Brooke Krasny, we'll be talking about Congresswoman Malliotakis, we'll be talking about the future President DeSantis or Trump or whoever it is. But you play an integral part of that. And if you guys fail, rest assured, a lot of people in our little clubs around the country are also going to fail. So please, act on your impulses and get involved. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joe Borelli, Minority Leader of the New York City Council. And
I gotta run, guys. Another Republican club, sorry.
Malcolm said, Joe. And Joe, try lowering that toll in the Verrazano. It's too high. Yeah, no, it's too high. I remember years ago when they first built the bridge. Oh, we're just gonna have a toll till it's paid off. Yeah, okay. 40 something years later. Anyway, without further ado, the minority whip and of the city council and our councilwoman, District 48, Ina Vernikov.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you. By the way, it's really hard to follow Minority Leader Joe Borelli. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. A lot of you here are my friends, and some of you came over to me and said, I supported you, I voted for you, I told everyone to vote for you, so I just want to say thank you for doing that. And thank you so much to this board. I think we got an amazing group of people here. I have full trust and faith in you guys. You're going to do amazing things. Jay, Katie, Naomi, this has been in the talks for quite some time now, and we finally got it together. I'm so excited for this club and for what we're going to do here. And let's just give them all a round of applause. So, as everybody here has been saying, why are we here tonight? We're here tonight because the Democratic Party has gone a little bit insane, right? So, I'll give you guys a little example, and I know that many of you obviously know what's happening and what's going on in our city and our country, but just last week, I think it was last week, we had an awful event take place in Sunset Park. And a couple of days later, we're at the stated meeting in the council, and the council member from Sunset Park, and I know all of you know what happened on the train, she gets up and she thanks everyone, she thanks the social workers and the mental health professionals